Okay, in today's lesson, we are going to be learning about adjustment layers in After Effects. And adjustment layers are layers with effects that affect only the layers beneath it. So it doesn't have an effect on the entire composition that you're trying to create. So to demonstrate this, and this is actually the assignment that you're going to be doing, I have some recording of me against the green screen, and I'm going to go ahead and drag this over to the composition window. And as you can see, I'm going through this. I'll just do a very quick RAM preview here so you can see it. And what I'm doing here is pretending to look through windows. And I know we're not actors, but this is one of the ways that we put how I get some of these concepts across. So you're going to be looking through windows that aren't really there, but we're going to put them there because that's what we do in this class is we create things that don't exist. So I have myself here against the green screen. Now, most of this stuff I'm going to go through really quickly because we've already done it once before. So I'm going to go ahead and key out the green using our key light plugin. And again, I'm going to go through this. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I'm going to go through this very, very fast. So I'm going to go ahead and key out the green. And then I'm going to go ahead and garbage mask out everything else. Using the pen tool, and again we did this in an earlier assignment, so I'm going to go ahead and make sure that all the stuff in the background there we don't see, so I just have myself here. Now I'm not going to go ahead and correct this for the sake of time, but you would go in there and roll up your screen mat a little bit. Well, what the heck, I'll go ahead and do that. Roll that up just a little bit, but I'm not going to take the time to correct all of these things for the sake of this video because it's going to be too long for what I'm trying to do here. So I'm going to go back to my project window here, and now that we're back to the project window, I might go ahead and put in a layer in the background just so I don't have some just some transparencies there. So I'm going to add I'm going to put in a solid real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and stick with this kind of off yellow color just to put something in the background, and I'll move this beneath me. And again, we've done all this before. Now I'm going to go ahead now and put in a picture frame, and this is available to you on the shared drive. Now of course it's much larger than we want because we're going to eventually have 5 of these around, so I'm going to go ahead and shrink that and then not like that though, shrink it down just a bit and then move it so that it surrounds my face. So I'm just looking through a window here. In fact, I might want to make that just a little bit bigger. So I'm looking through a window here. Now what I want to do is use an adjustment layer so that the effect doesn't affect the entire composition. I just want it to be inside this window here. So what I'm going to do is first of all, add an adjustment layer. So I'm going to add a new adjustment layer, and that gives us an adjustment layer down here in our timeline. And then I'm going to put a mask in, and a mask, remember that's what we did in that prior assignment. It just allows certain effects to show through from the bottom. I'm going to put a mask right there around my face inside that picture frame. So now I have myself looking through this picture frame, and I want to put an effect in here, something that looks different from everything else. And I think what I'm going to do is maybe desaturate the color, or we'll try that, or maybe let's go with desaturating the color. So I'm going to go up here into color corrections, and I'm going to go down to hue and saturation, and I'm going to go ahead and just take the master saturation, and I'm going to turn that all the way down. So now I'm just kind of black and white looking through the window there. And so now as I scrub across the timeline and look through the window, just everything behind it and my face is black and white. So that's what we're going to do in this assignment, is we're going to have 5 different adjustment layers and 5 different effects put in to your composition. So I'm going to go back here and go ahead, and I think I'm going to let's scrub the timeline a little bit, and you can see there's my next move there. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the frame. So I'm going to do that using Control D, and we've duplicated the frame. So I'm going to take the new frame, which is stacked right on top of that, and just put it around to the next position here. And again, I want to put in now another adjustment layer. I'm going to go ahead and move this down just so we are on the right. Keep this all orderly. And I'm going to go ahead and add a new adjustment layer. And on this one, I'm going to go layer new and a new adjustment layer. And I'm going to move this one down so we're right above the frame once again. And I'm just going to do the same thing. Only this time I'm going to put in some keyframes. So I'm going to go ahead and mask it just like I did before. And on this particular one, I think I am going to add a blur effect. So I will do a blur and sharpen, and let's just do a fast blur. And I have the blurriness right now is set to 0. So I think what I'm going to do is have it set to 0 so it just looks normal. And I'm going to back up my footage just a little bit. And then right when I start to look into the window, I am going to keyframe it so that it turns blurry right as I look through it. So I'm going to go ahead and keyframe, and remember to keyframe, you use this little stopwatch here. So I'm going to go ahead and click the stopwatch to set a keyframe right here at 3 seconds and on the 4th frame. And then as we get down into the window, I'm going to go ahead and blur this out. So I am going to blur it out, not too much, just enough so that you can kind of see my head still, but at the same time see the effect. So then as I move forward into, and about right there, we will go ahead and move the blurriness again back to 0. So now it's blurry as I'm looking through it, and then as I move away, the blurriness disappears, which is kind of the effect we want. So let's go ahead and do a quick RAM preview on this, and we'll for the first 6 seconds, and I'll go ahead and scrub the timeline back to 0, and of course it always goes through. So there's my black and white version. Then as I move down, I'm blurry, and then as I move out again, everything turns to normal. So you're going to do this 5 times. I'm not going to do any more on this video because the process is pretty much the same. You're just going to use different effects. Now what I'd like you to do here is, I've kept mine pretty plain and simple, but you can use your creativity. Maybe you want a moving background and not a solid background. Maybe instead of a picture frame you want to use TV sets or a computer monitor. Go ahead and make something unique here, something special. Feel free to copy just what I've done if that's all you want to do. But to make this a little more unique and creative, go ahead and do something different. We are going to use this footage in another project down the road. It's going to be your final motion graphics project. So you might want to make something a little bit on the unique side and make something special. Okay, stay tuned for the next video, and good luck on this assignment, and ask me any questions if you don't understand something. Thanks.